Hi, everyone. I am Leah McCabe, founder of Autism Wish, host of the Embracing Autism podcast. And today I want to talk to you guys about Christmas Wish. So, Christmas Wish is a program that we run. We started a few years ago, and it's basically an opportunity for us to match autistic children with sponsors who are willing to grant an item or two from their wish list. Sometimes we're able to get lots of sponsors, and kids are able to get lots of gifts. Sometimes we get fewer sponsors and the kids may only get one or two items from their wish list, but regardless, we make every effort we can to get as many children gifted as possible. And just a disclaimer, there is no guarantee that we're able to match your child, but we do make every effort. It's really just based on how many sponsors we're able to get from year to year. So what I'm going to do is walk you through the process of applying for this. There are some rules and regulations in order to be eligible for the program and to have your application or referral accepted or considered. So I'm going to walk you through that. So the first thing you'll want to do is go to our website, which is autismwish.org. And if you have not already, I would recommend that y'all scroll to the very bottom of the homepage and you'll see the subscribe button here. Just enter your email there and click subscribe, and that'll put you on our mailing list, which means you will get emailed notifications when Christmas Wish is coming or other events like our earmuff drive and our Valentine's card club. So I would recommend that you do that. And then what I would say is go up here to the Make a Wish button. So you can either go through it that way or you can click here directly to refer a child. And so we'll go either way. Right now, I'll just click on this Refer a Child button. But either way will bring you to the same page. And so here right now, it'll show that we are not currently accepting referrals to Christmas Wish. This will disappear when applications are open. They typically open on October 1st of each year, and they're open for 1 month through November 1st. That may change year to year, so make sure to check the email list for the details there. But once you're on that page, this link here will open up when eligibility is open or when the referral process is open. And this will connect you to a referral form that you can fill out to submit that application. Down here, you'll get more information about the open dates, again, subscribing to the newsletter. And then the most important part is down here, the Christmas Wish eligibility and guidelines. So we put this together because in previous Christmas wishes, we've had some issues with people not really understanding the application process, so we wanted to make it more straightforward. So we broke it down into different components. This first one here just goes over what Christmas Wish is all about, and then who is eligible. This is an important part for you guys to read through. Make sure that all of this applies to your child. You must be a resident of the United States. That's because we're using the US version of Amazon. So that has limitations to within the United States. So you will need to make sure that the Amazon wish list you're using for your child is a US Amazon wish list. So we're not able to use any wish lists outside of the US. You also need to have a child who is diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder or a closely related disorder. And then you will be required to show proof of diagnosis with your referral application. A little doctor's note would work for that. We do give a sample of that down here. There is a sample proof of diagnosis I'll show you in a bit. We want to urge you guys to try as best as you can to not disclose any private information. So either white it out, black it out if there's any other identifying information, because all we need is your child's first name, the fact that they have this diagnosis, and their age to know that they're eligible. So anything else we don't really need. That's why a letter is perfect, because it doesn't have extra information, but there are other documentation that you can use for proof of diagnosis if you can't get that letter. Your child must be 17 years of age or younger, and we need proof of age. So you can do that as easily as including the age in the doctor's note. Just have your doctor include the age. And then we also need to make sure that these applications are being submitted by your child's legal guardian or parent. And again, for security purposes, just try to exclude any personally identifying information of your child that is not specifically requested. So we just need that first name. and even a nickname works. We just need a name that we can give to our sponsors so that they have a name to the person that they are basically donating to. So, who can refer a child? So, children being referred to the Christmas Wish program can be referred by either parents or legal guardians, family members, or close friends who know or have a deep familiarity with a child's autism diagnosis, because we will need all this personal information, or medical professionals. So, your child's doctor can refer them. Basically, anybody who would have access to the information that's required to apply for this program and who has legal rights, essentially to be able to legally apply as like a guardian or medical professional. And so now we'll look into the process here. So if you know a autistic child who could benefit from this program, we basically make sure that the wish lists have sensory, therapeutic, or special interest items listed on them. We will ask you to essentially submit an online referral on behalf of your child for consideration into the program. And the keyword there is consideration. There's no guarantee that we will be able to find them a match or a sponsor, but if we accept your child's application, we basically are accepting them into the program of trying to find them a match. So an acceptance doesn't mean they will be gifted. It just means that they will be eligible to be gifted. Again, the applications usually run between October 1st and November 1st. So they have to be done and submitted completely and accurately by end of day November 1st. If you submit your application and there's some parts of it that are not correct or are not done properly or incomplete, and it's not corrected before that November 1st deadline, unfortunately, your child will not be considered for that year. And so they will have to reapply the following year. So make sure you do meet those guidelines on time. As for what your child can wish for, so there are a few regulations here. So the list is an Amazon wish list, and it must contain items that are either sensory, special interest, or therapeutic in nature. Now, we're very lax on what that means. So it can be toys, clothing, special interest items. Like my child has always been really into rubber ducks, and that has always been honestly therapeutic for her because it's her special interest item. So if your child has something that they are really into, you can put that on there as well. Each item that's on your list must include comments in your Amazon wish list for each item that's in there. And what you need to include basically is a comment on your wish list that says why that item is needed. This really helps our sponsors. They get to kind of get a feel for your child, and a lot of times they will pick and choose based on those needs, or they might take a look at it and say, oh, this is something, that really resonates with me. I want to make sure I get them that. So these notes are to help me and the team assess whether or not the item is eligible for the wish list, but also to help the sponsors who we're matching you with get a feel for what items they want to gift your child. And we've included a link here on instructions on how to add comments to your Amazon wish list in case you don't know how to do that. You can click on that link there and it'll walk you through that process. Now, again, we did mention there is flexibility on the items that are considered eligible for your wish list, but there may be some items that we ask you to remove from your list prior to approval, just to make sure that they meet eligibility criteria. So if they are not falling under the sensory, therapeutic, or special interest item category, then we will likely ask you to remove that item, or if they're missing a justification comment. So in order for your application to be considered complete, it needs to have justification comments for each item on that wish list by the deadline. So if those comments aren't on there by November 1st, unfortunately, you will have to wait till the following year to reapply. So make sure every piece of this is in there. And then the other thing to note is you must have at least 3 items on your wish list that are listed under the $20 threshold. We say this because there are some sponsors that can donate a whole lot towards a kid's wish list, but then there's other sponsors who might not have the financial means but still want to help. And so they will be the ones looking to see if there's something closer to that $20 range to be able to donate something for your child. So we always ask that everybody have at least 3 items that are listed under 20. Honestly, the closer your items are to this mark, the 20 to $50 range, the more likely you are to get one or multiple items for your child. So that is something that is just kind of like a inside secret there. That number is kind of like the magic number. Now we're going to go to how do I set up a wish list? Again, this is through the Amazon United States version website. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to go on Amazon, and there is a link here that we have that you can click on, and it'll give you a breakdown of instructions on how to set up that wish list in your Amazon account. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and look that up there. And if you still can't figure it out, you can shoot us an email. However, again, just make sure that all of this is done before that deadline. You also have to make sure that those comments are in there. So I will reiterate that you have to say why each item is needed. We have a link here for how to add those comments again. And I also want to call out, sometimes we get parents who have multiple autistic children, like I myself have 2 autistic children, and you may want to submit an application for both of them. We require that you submit a referral application for each child independently. That helps us a lot on the back end. We want to make sure that each portion of that application is unique to the child that you are applying to, and they each have to have their own independent wish list. So you can't combine wish lists if you have multiple children. So make sure that, again, you're submitting one application per autistic child. You can update that list as needed as long as you continue to add the comments into each item that's needed and you keep meeting those criteria. You can continue to add stuff to that wish list after it's been approved. But if you add something in and it doesn't have comments, for example, it might not be essentially granted. So just make sure you continue to follow those guidelines. Then down here, we have what counts as a proof of diagnosis. So we tried to be really broad and generic with the proof of diagnosis to be as all-encompassing as possible and make it as easy for you as possible. So what we'll ask you to do is to either email your child's proof of diagnosis on official letterhead. You can do that by emailing it to info@autismwish.org. However, what we prefer is that in the referral application itself, there will be an opportunity within that form to attach it. So in that form, you will have to attach that proof of diagnosis, and we need the child's first name, proof of diagnosis, and also their age or their year of birth. We don't need an exact birth date. We just need their age or their year of birth to verify the age. Here are some examples of proof of diagnosis. It could be from a doctor, psychologist, or therapist notes. So if your child goes OT or PT or ST, those will count. It could be a therapy referral or prescription from your doctor that has the word autism or the related disorder on that prescription to show that they are indeed being referred for autism. It can be the diagnosis paperwork. All we need is the line that says this child is diagnosed with autism and somewhere where it shows proof that it is your child's paperwork. So their first name somewhere on this document that ties to that one sentence. We don't need the rest of it. We don't need the scores. We don't need the data. We just need, this is consistent with an autism diagnosis, Billy. That's all we need. And then another example could be an IEP or IFSP. Again, please make sure to black out as much content as possible. We just need the proof. We just need basically the word autism and your child's first name. If we get both of those things within the same document, you're typically good to go. And then what I wanted to mention here is that this part is really important for us because we want to make sure that people aren't taking advantage of this program. We want to make sure that these gifts are going to the kids who actually need it. So that's why we vet out children for the diagnosis. So make sure that proof of diagnosis is included because we won't be able to move your application forward without that. If you have any questions throughout this process, you can reach out to one of us at info@autismwish.org. During Autism Wish Christmas Wish program, things get really busy for us behind the scenes. So it might take a day or two, maybe even 3 before we respond to your email. But we will respond to it in the order that we receive it, and we'll respond to it as soon as we can. So just have some patience with us. And then again, the disclaimer is that essentially we can't guarantee that your child will be gifted, but we're going to try everything that we can. Down here, we also have a sample proof of diagnosis for you all. So if you click on this, we have a letter here. Now you can print this letter out and give it to your doctor or physician as a sample for them. And basically we give them instructions of what to include in this, that we basically just need the child's first name and their year born or age. All we need is, I'm a physician who evaluated Billy, born in, let's say, 2001, and at this time their diagnosis is autism spectrum disorder, with their signature on their letterhead. That's essentially all we need. So if you've got that, you are golden. And that is all the information on this page. I would encourage that y'all really dig through those guidelines and just make sure that your application is going to be as accurate as possible the first time you apply. Otherwise, we will have some back and forth. We will reach out to you if there's something not working. Like, make sure that your link that you use for your Amazon wish list is a clickable link. That will usually end in a specific code where it says like REF share or something like that. We will include that information in the application itself. We'll include a checklist in there to make sure that you check off each part, each component of this referral, and to make sure that you are meeting the criteria before you hit submit. So the referral will be a little bit longer than usual, but it's just to make sure that, we're getting everything we need to reduce that back and forth and increase the chances of you getting that application in on time. So again, that is how you apply to Christmas Wish. I hope you all found this helpful. And if at any point you have any questions, feel free to contact us at info@autismwish.org or send us a message on Facebook at Autism Wish or Instagram at Autism Wish. Thanks and good luck.